Right now at 6, Oregon State Police are teaming up with local officers, how they're tackling the drug crisis on Portland streets. Plus, a man caught on camera appearing to steal eggs from an osprey nest. Why the feds are now getting involved with the investigation. Then later, meet the local pitching phenom whose dominance from the mound is catching the attention of some major league scouts. Thanks for joining us here at 6. Christine Pitawanich here as we start things off with a step outside. You can see all of our sky cams in the area from the coast into the gorge. Mostly sunny skies, blue, loving that, and warming temperatures across the Pacific Northwest, just in time for the unofficial start of summer. Tonight, also the kickoff to the Rose Festival's City Fair. That's where meteorologist Rod Hill joins us now. Rod, always good to have you here in the evenings. Glad you're getting to soak in that sunshine and the nice weather.
Yeah, everything you just said, Christine.
And the corn dog.
It's my first corn dog up Rose Fest. This is good. Now, by the way, if you don't do this, it's very important. I'm sure you know this at home, but in case you don't, ask if they have the the little paper boats, because then you can put all the mustard packets in, and then you get to dip it and have the authentic corn dog experience. This one is actually perfect, nicely brown. See that? Very important.
Jordan is he's doing cotton candy up there right now. Hey Jordan, come here and wave through the window.
Jordan is the corn dog maestro. He tells me he's going to be up working the Clark County Fair later in the summer. How about that? All right, let's get you outside to the weather maps. Christine showed you the live sky cameras and what beautiful weather we are having. Right now, temperatures upper 60s up and down I-5. I thought we'd hit 70, but it doesn't look like we're going to do it. It is in the low 70s out in the Dalles. And if you're going to be out and about this evening, here are the temperatures. It will continue to be mainly clear outside. This shows it could still be in the low 60s even at 9 p.m. So that's this evening. We'll get you into the weekend forecast coming up, which still shows actually an increasing chance of some light rain Monday morning. They opened the gates here at City Fair at 5 o'clock this afternoon. The line, you can see behind me, instantly became big for the big wheels. So people are loving that. The fireworks show, if you live in downtown Portland, look toward the Willamette River. The fireworks show at 9:50 tonight. I understand it's going to be a big show. It's the only one they do. Again, that's at 9:50. We'll get more into your weekend weather, and I will finish my corn dog before then, coming up in about 10 minutes. Live from City Fair, Christine. Back to you.
Hey, enjoy that corn dog and bring me one too. Thanks, Rod. Now at 6, Portland police are out in southwest Portland's Goose Hollow neighborhood tonight looking for people dealing and using drugs. It's the end of a week-long crackdown effort. John Adams spoke with some people in the neighborhood who say the extra police attention is a welcome sight.
Businesses here in the Goose Hollow area tell me they've had a lot of trouble with drug activity over the last few years and welcome an increased police presence.
On the east side of Providence Park, employees at the Express Market convenience store see the evidence of Portland's drug crisis daily.
We get some theft every day, every single day. And it's not just theft, it's also violent.
Justine was working the register when we stopped by on Friday morning and showed us what employees use to protect themselves.
We have to constantly carry tasers around and a baseball bat.
Justine explained that coming in contact with illicit drugs like fentanyl is just as concerning.
My coworker once had someone open their wallet and they had a tinfoil full of fentanyl just sitting there and next to their money, and he tried to pay with that money that was against the tinfoil, and my coworker's like, no, you gotta go.
On the other side of the stadium, another convenience store dealing with many of the same issues.
We get a lot of shoplifters come in. There's been quite a bit of drug activity outside.
Portland police are looking to stop that drug activity. Friday was the final day of a week-long mission addressing drug activity across the city, with Oregon State Police joining the efforts on day 5.
Today, with the assistance of the Oregon State Police, which is really a force multiplier, we're going to go out and solve problems in this area.
And we did see police making arrests outside a Plaid Pantry store on Southwest Jefferson. Commander Brian Hughes tells us the first 4 days of the mission led to 58 people being referred to the city's deflection program, where people can opt for treatment over jail. 56 other people have been arrested on outstanding warrants. A welcome sign for local businesses.
We just want a nice, clean city where People come buy stuff, and there's no screaming, no yelling, no threatening of violence.
One of the individuals I spoke with told me their eventual dream for the neighborhood is that more businesses move in after drug activity is cleaned up. In Goose Hollow, John Adams, KGW News.
In your headlines tonight, a former corrections worker who pleaded guilty to 2 felony sexual misconduct charges was sentenced to 20 months in prison and 5 years of probation today. According to court documents, Sergeant Levi Gray had an inmate at the women's prison Coffee Creek Correctional Facility perform sex acts at least twice in May of 2023. Gray faces at least 3 civil lawsuits as well over allegations of sexually abusing 3 women at the prison between 2017 and 2023. Gray was also previously investigated for multiple instances of inappropriate workplace behavior. Portland city workers have reached a tentative agreement with the city, avoiding a strike that was authorized yesterday. The union represents about 800 professional staff across the city government. Yesterday, they voted overwhelmingly to authorize a strike that would have started next month. But after 11 hours of mediation, the union and the city reached an agreement calling off the strike. Details of the agreement have not yet been released. And the U.S. Justice Department has reached a deal with Boeing to avoid prosecuting the plane maker over the 737 MAX crashes that killed 346 people. The company must now invest more than $1 billion into its safety program and pay victims' families $445 million. Some of the families are outraged.
We don't want money. We want accountability. We want to know who was responsible for these crashes.
Back in 2021, Boeing reached a settlement that shielded it from prosecution for 3 years. That settlement was set to expire just 2 days after a door panel blew out of a 737 MAX 9 over Portland last year. Boeing has not yet commented on the deal. And more than 200 Rite Aid stores are set to close nationwide. 17 are here in Oregon. This is a map of which stores across our region will be closing. The drugstore chain filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection last week. The chain previously filed for bankruptcy in 2023 and downsized the company from over 2,300 stores to about 1,200. The company says it plans to keep the stores open as long as possible, but it will not buy new inventory to restock shelves. You can find a full list of the stores that are closing on our website, kgw.com. Oregon lawmakers are voicing their thoughts on the president's massive domestic policy bill passed in the House yesterday. If it passes the Senate and becomes law, the impact would be widespread, potentially dealing a blow to programs that serve Oregon families in need. Celine Stevens reports from Newburgh.
Democrats say that the impacts to those who rely on benefits like SNAP and Medicaid could be devastating, and it wouldn't only hurt the working class, but it could hurt the state as well, who could be forced to take on the costs. The cuts to these programs are expected to be in the billions.
The cruelty is the point, I think, is really clear.
By a slim margin, House Republicans passed President Donald Trump's mega tax bill Thursday.
On this vote, the yeas are 215, the nays are 214. With one answering present. The bill is passed.
The bill also getting support from Cliff Bentz, Oregon's only Republican congressman. The bill honing in on a range of topics, including military spending, immigration enforcement, Medicaid, SNAP, and more.
Today, the House has passed generational, truly nation-shaping legislation to reduce spending and permanently lower taxes for families and job creators, secure the border. House Democrats voted against all of that.
Congresswoman Maxine Dexter speaking on the impacts to SNAP while at the Oregon Food Bank, saying it supports over 700,000 Oregonians.
The details of the bill would expand harsh work requirements for adults up to age 64, up from current age 55. And parents of school-aged children have to work.
The bill would cut $290 billion from the food aid program. The impact to Oregonians anticipated to be widespread.
The bill would cut SNAP benefits by 21%. Currently, the average SNAP benefit is just $6.20 a day. It would cut it down to just $4.80 a day.
SNAP participation is used to determine eligibility for everything from summer food programs, WIC, child care programs, and more.
Medicaid also expected to see almost $700 billion in cuts, according to the Congressional Budget Office.
And somewhere between 150 and 200,000 Oregonians could be without health care. And, to Suzanne's point, that means people could die, right? They won't have access to preventative care.
But some Republicans, like Cliff Bentz, on a prior episode of Straight Talk, stated otherwise.
It's not going to be the destruction of the program.
Congresswoman Suzanne Bonamici and Andrea Salinas visited the Newburgh Wellness Center to talk more about the impacts of these cuts.
The reason that they're trying to justify these cuts is that they can continue tax breaks that primarily help very wealthy people and wealthy corporations.
The impact on the state trying to make up for the lack in funds would also be damaging.
It's a threshold, and so we have shifted the threshold, and that is going to impact other benefits, because if people now are less likely to receive it because of federal investments, we also are now shifting that to the state, and the state is not going to be able to make up the difference.
The representatives I spoke with today are asking the public to make their stories known about how this all would impact them as this bill moves to the Senate, and are asking them to also call their representatives, senators, and even reach out to Republican offices to make their voices heard. In Newburgh, Celine Stevens, KGW News.
Meantime, we are watching two very close races following Tuesday's special election. In Multnomah County, a $136 million bond for Mount Hood Community College is still too close to call, with yes in the lead by just about 131 or so votes. And in Washington County, a $421 million bond to replace or renovate 5 schools in the Tigard-Tualatin district appears to be passing in another close race, with almost 53% saying yes. You can check for real-time updates anytime on KGW.com or on our KGW mobile app.